Good morning, boys and girls. Today we will be beginning Unit 3, Week 1, Day 1 of our grammar practice. And today we're going to be talking about verbs, but you're also going to need to use your knowledge of singular and plural nouns. Okay, so just to review, remember a verb tells what the subject of a sentence does or is. And a verb usually will show action. There are also verbs called linking verbs, but today we're just going to be talking about action verbs. So an action verb can be anything you can do with your body. So you might think of verbs like run, skip, jump. An action verb can also be a mind action, like think or like. Okay? So today we're going to talk about present tense. So a verb in present tense tells what is happening right now. So if it's happening in the present, it's going on right now. The present tense must have subject-verb agreement. So the subject and the verb have to make sense and sound right together. We're going to be adding an S to most verbs if the subject is just one, or singular. We do not add an S to the verb if the subject is plural or if it's the word I or you. Okay, so in this sentence down here, it says the snake hissed. He is scary. So in this one, you can see that they added ED to the end, so that one shows past tense. So here we've got the snake is hissing. So we had to change the helping verb, and we had to change the verb to add a different ending in this case. Okay, so let's do some practice looking at more verbs and their agreement with the subject. You'll need to grab your pencil and grammar page 51, and let's do a couple of examples together. So the directions say to write the correct present tense form of each underlined verb on the lines provided. So boys and girls, in some of these words you're going to add an S, and some of them aren't going to change. It all depends on whether the subject is plural or not. Okay? I'm going to add a direction here. I also want you to grab your highlighter, and I want you to highlight the subject in each sentence. Okay, as well. So you're probably asking yourself, why, Mrs. Gable? Why do we have to do that too? Well, here's why, boys and girls. When you figure out what the subject is, you'll be able to know what to do with your verb to have it make sense. Okay, so let's do number 1 and number 2 together. So we've got the road runner race across the empty desert. So the subject of my sentence is a noun, the road runner. Okay, then you need to ask yourself, is road runner singular or plural? Is it just one, or is it more than one? In this case, it is just one road runner. So you've got to change the verb, and remember that back in the directions it said if it's just a singular noun, we have to add an S, okay? So on the line, you're going to take the underlined word and correct it so it makes sense. So it needs to be the road runner races across the empty desert. I'm just going to add an S, okay? In number 2, he paused near the ribbon of highway. So my subject here is he, and that's just one person, one he, that's singular, so that means I need to add an S to my verb. Pauses, P-A-U-S-E-S. And just so you know what it's like when a subject is plural, let's look for one of those. Oh, let's do number 4 as well. The passengers looks out the window. So in this one, then highlight the subject, that's passengers. And now it has an S at the end, so that means there's more than one. So what does that mean? That means that my verb does not need an S at the end, so it should just become look. The passengers look out the window. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to read the rest of the sentences to you so that you know what they all say, and then you can begin your practice on your own. Number 3, a car speed down the road. If you need to pause the video now, you can do that and write in your answer. Number 5, they stares at the roadrunner. Number 6, the roadrunner take off again. 7, a lizard jump into a hole to escape the roadrunner. 8, the wind blow the roadrunner's feathers. 9, 2 hares hops out of the roadrunner's way. 10, the roadrunner shake its long tail. Okay, finish your practice up for today. That's all, boys and girls.